Hey everybody, Who's Your Jedi here with another review for you. This time I'm talking episode 12 of season 3 of The Legend of Korra, called Into the Void. Now this and the next episode, the season finale, both came out today, but I have not watched episode 13 yet. I'm actually taking a little break between that so I can do this episode completely focused on episode 12. So let's just kind of get right into things. This is, of course, the penultimate episode, so lots of action, lots of stuff getting resolved, and yeah, even at least one character getting killed off. So let's just kind of get right into things. Now, the real big shocker here is, of course, that Zahir discovers he has the ability to fly, and he gains this ability after we see him at the beginning of the episode talking about emptiness and going into the void. Well, this is pure Buddhist ideological thought. There's a lot of, if you read about Buddhism, there's a lot of just emptying yourself, thought without thought, and things like this. And Zahir, basically this episode, Zahir even says, only one other airbender in history has done what I've done. And a lot of people have kind of objected. It's like, dude, Zahir's been an airbender for 3 weeks and he could do all this? Well, the thing is, and this episode really drives it home if you understand a little bit about theology and things like that, just why Zahir is able to pull this off. And that is basically because Zahir has, over time, built up immense spiritual power and knowledge. I mean, he was basically stuck in that prison cell in the middle of nowhere for 13 years. Well, that's basically almost the same as all those stories you hear about famous holy men going off into the desert or into the mountains and living in a cave in order to pursue spiritual enlightenment. We know that Zahir has studied airbender philosophy and culture and history and religion extensively. And here he even says that the death of Pili was what allowed him to shed his final earthly attachment. And again, letting go of earthly attachments is what Buddhism, in a lot of ways, is all about. It doesn't mean that you don't care about the things that, the people you love in your life and your community and your career and all this. It just means that you realize that all things, like everyone dies, all things end. And when something's time has come, you just accept it. When someone dies, you accept that they have died. You don't hold on to that void that they have left in your life. You accept that death is a part of life, and you continue on living your life. Now, nobody says that this is easy. It's not. We all know this. We've all lost people in our lives. We've all had things that we care about go away or be taken from us. But, again, it's all about go on with your life, because if you try and hold on to something that's gone, all you're doing is creating suffering for yourself. So, Zahir, being innately familiar and very strongly in tune with these ideas, he's able to put Pili's death behind him very quickly. Now, it doesn't mean that he's completely like, yeah, okay, she's gone. It's just, again, as he said, he has put that attachment behind him. So it's not that he isn't upset, it is that he has taken his feelings, acknowledged them, and let them go. That's how it works in Buddhism. And the whole thing with him flying, well, if you know a little bit about theology, you know that in both Eastern and Western traditions, there are stories about people, often holy men, but people with really strong spiritual abilities who have been said to be able to fly. I mean, just Google the words flying saints, and you'll come up with a pretty surprising amount of Catholic saints who there are stories about them flying. And of course, the same is true over in the East. So, while what we see from Zahir is very dramatic and all that, it is seriously rooted in both the real world and, as he does say, in the Avatar world. So, we still don't really have a very clear idea of what the Red Lotus want, but okay, obviously they want Korra dead, but what's the end game with that? I guess we'll find out with that next episode. This episode also, we get some nice moments with Kai. Kai is a guy who's come a long way in a very short amount of time, and I'm glad that they had that scene with Mako acknowledging that Kai has done well, and Kai acknowledging that, yeah, I was kind of a little jerk. So again, these two are actually guys who are very similar to each other in a lot of ways, and I think seeing these two sort of bond that way, that's cool. It's sort of like Mako's in a way in the process of picking up a second little brother, and that's cool. Speaking of Mako's genuine little brother, we have Bolin, who spontaneously gains the ability to lava bend. And I do like that they acknowledge that Sue says, "Well, I knew that there was great potential in you," and Bolin says, "Well, yeah. Also, the whole me and my friends were all about to die. That was pretty great motivation too." So here, Bolin gets the confirmation that he really does have this potential within him that everybody has kept telling him. It's something that even he acknowledges. So that means that he is now much more in a position to where he can take the next step and firmly embrace this newfound confidence that he's almost certainly going to have, and basically probably be able to become a metal bender. Now Tenzin, I do like that we get this little moment with him where he has to watch the air temple be destroyed. Now, if I'm remembering my history correctly, this is actually the temple where his father was raised. And it's really no big surprise that Tenzin would take them there because, again, this is a very spiritual home for the air nomads. It's a great place for them to reconnect with their heritage, to try out their powers, to get in touch with air bison. And then he sees all of that destroyed, and it having a personal connection to his father. I mean, wow, what a twist of the knife. But again, this is an example of worldly attachment. At the end of the day, the air temple is a place. It's building in stone, and yes, there is cultural and spiritual significance attached to this place. But you can be spiritual just as easily in, say, a church as you can be out in the middle of nowhere in the woods, or in your car, or in your bedroom, anywhere. Spirituality comes from within us, and at least, without getting too big of a date, our connection to that sort of thing, it comes from within us. It is an ability that we can refine within ourselves through various methods, like prayer or meditation or whatever works for you. But again, it is something that comes from within. And as the saying goes, wherever you go, there you are. So while it certainly is a terrible loss, I mean, there's a lot of history and culture and all this other stuff that has been lost. But the air nomads are still there. Their ability to develop and refine their ability as airbenders and their spiritual side, that hasn't gone away. And let's see. Again, lots of cool action. We get to see Korra's dad really going nutso and kicking Zia around pretty good. We get to see the Beifong sisters having a nice moment. Lin even saying "I love you" to her sister, which is really cool. And Combustion Lady going out in a pretty gory ways. Like, ooh, man. So this is 2 episodes in a row where ladies on this show have died pretty gruesome deaths. Yikes. Oh boy, I really hope there's not somebody online screaming women in refrigerators about this. God almighty. But anyway, I think that kind of covers. Oh yeah, we're introduced to a new character, Guvera, I think is how she pronounced her name. Who knows what's going to go on with this character? But if they are taking the time to introduce this character and give her a name, there is obviously going to be some significance to this. So whether or not she's going to turn out to sort of be a Red Lotus agent or just somebody for them to kill off next episode, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, guys, that I think covers everything I had to say about this episode. I am very excited. As soon as I turn this off, I'm going to go and watch the season finale. So yeah, this is going to be good. Anyway, guys, until next time, take care and have a good one. And of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Who's Your Jedi.